Jai Srila Prabhupada, Hare Krishna Nama Prabhu Ki Jai. Welcome all of you for the 34th session of Soulful Japa. So today also we shall discuss something to strengthen your practice module. We have had several key points with respect to practice, and in spite of that, I see that some devotees are not able to catch the secret. If you don't catch the secret, only then you can fail. Otherwise, in this there is no failure. The mistakes, what can happen, mistakes, I will tell you. The training is specifically for linking, chanting and hearing. Please understand that. Training is not meant for total chanting to be trained. The linking portion we want to train. Giving chesta from the soul is a voluntary thing. You have to give. You cannot train that. You have to desire to chant consciously, to hear consciously. In spite of chanting properly, in spite of having desire to chant consciously, and in spite of having desire to hear consciously, for some reason, the attention does not stay there. So this is the problem. Very specific problem. By training, we are not going to replace, automatically, something from the soul will be pulled out by the mind. Kriya Chesta will be pulled out from the mind. Kriya Chesta will be, no, it doesn't have to pull out. Jnana Chesta and all, it doesn't have to pull out from the mind, from the heart. Without pulling out, once you teach it, it will chant and, automatically it will chant and do auto tracking. Beads will move. So mindful japa means, understand once again, mindful means consciously you are doing effort, and in a linked way you are giving your knowing effort. Offering your doing effort is not what we are training. Offering your knowing effort is not what we are training, means the training part. What we want the mind to learn is to link these two things. And that's exactly what the golden quote says. Chant and hear exactly the same chant you hear. So that's why that exactly the very same word that you hear. You are not practicing chant. You're not practicing. If you take that golden quote and say, okay, Prabhupada is saying I should chant and I should hear, you got it wrong. The key secret in that golden quote is chant and hear that very chant. Chant and hear that very sound. While you chant, you hear. That means that same thing you should hear. When you chant, you should hear. So what is the key thing there? Is a linking. And hearing is knowing the sound. Therefore, just to remind you, as point number 3, in the first 2 weeks I had given that. Chanting is a doing and hearing is a knowing. So first that misunderstanding should go. That misunderstanding having gone, then However, we have a challenge to connect these two things. So to connect these two things, right now I have practiced chanting and hearing without connecting these two. So for me, I have a very old mind slice which is deep in my subconscious. As soon as take my bead, I repeat Hare Krishna and hear Hare Krishna, whatever it is, in a disconnected manner. Therefore, the attention is not locked. Attention is locked only when both are done in a concurrent manner, in a concurrently related manner. And you cannot do it concurrently unless you know that hearing is knowing of the very doing. In a concurrent manner you should do it, means it should be linked on the same sound. So this is what we are training our mind. You see, whenever I do some things, there is a combination of trained mind and my conscious mind. Trained mind always helps the conscious mind. Let us say I have an example I give. We are trained to shave every day morning. We shave. You're not conscious about it. But suppose I have a boil on my face. So then my shaving is a combination of my trained shaving mind slice as well as fresh foreground mind, which is trying to go around it and not hurt. So every activity, now mindful japa doesn't mean it is again automatic japa. But one thing we want to make it automatic there. What is that? That linking should become automatic. Mind should link. I am ready to consciously release my jnana chesta and kriya chesta. Kriya chesta and jnana chesta I want to release. On each shabda I want to release. But the mind should concurrently, hear in a related manner, chanting and hearing the very same chant. So if you read the golden quotes and what is striking you is chant and hear, chant and hear, chant and hear. You are not got the secret. Chant and hear the same sound. Exactly same sound. That is what training is required. Then you get linked up. So this is one of the reasons why, there is very, just see, the words used by Prabhupada is so important. Chant and hear exactly the same, he says. So that's why by the side I have written, please give feelings to this stressing portion where Prabhupada stressed. There, that is the exact thing that, see, we chant, we hear, no need to train the mind. Mind doesn't need training to chant and hear. How many years we have chanted and heard? Mind needs now training to link this chanting and hearing. This is the exercise. First training module for mindful japa means to link. Don't do isolated chanting. Don't do only chanting. Don't do only hearing. Chant and hear that very same word. For those who are already started, those who are already successful, what I am speaking is a reconfirmation of their process. Those who are not got the thing after 2 or somewhere halfway you got it and then lost somewhere. It all depends on how you understand the key thing in that golden quote. Key rule. What is the key rule? It's a linking rule. And when we engage our mind in continuously linked chanting and hearing, linked chanting and hearing, that mind slice, new mind slice that helps mindful japa is created. The new mind slice only helps mindful japa. Mindful japa is not body japa. Soul has to involve. Kriya chesta and jnana chesta has to be offered. In spite of offering, now we are having all scattered attention. So that particular problem we are solving. We are assuming that all the people who want to chant Hare Krishna are sincere. They want the attention on the holy day. But something is spoiling the chances. So there is one small part which is to be trained and chanted, which the gardener did, and he got the energy to chant 16 rounds first day. So same way, if in a linked manner if I chant, then automatically I will also lock my attention and get the transcendental energy, that divya chesta, ruchi, doing, knowing, taste of doing, knowing the doing and knowing that result of that doing concurrently. And where is it being applied? It is applied on the very same name of the Lord. So the Lord's name is omnipotent, Shakti Avaisha Avatara. When your conscious doing chesta and knowing chesta is touching the Nama, you get a doing chesta ruchi and jnana chesta ruchi. You get that. Because it is spirit energy. Chesta is a spirit energy. When you are touching the Nama, the spirit energy, to chant and hear, you get that spiritual energy which will make you want to chant again, 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 again. Don't want you to stop, and you don't want to stop. Now another thing that also which I would like to, based on, see, I'm giving all this instruction based on good feedbacks I am getting where devotees are having trouble. So I'm reading these questions of the previous days that devotees have put up, and based on that only I'm designing these sessions to help you out to solve these problems. So somebody has a problem, maybe that person is expressing, many others are not expressing, so it helps everybody. So please understand, that's where concentrate. The entire training is for linked chanting, and linking direction has to come. A mind slice to link we are generating. A mind slice to link chanting and hearing the Tevedic chant. That will give us 100% result. It cannot fail. It cannot fail, because you are giving your soul chesta and jnana chesta and kriya chesta to the same name. It locks the attention. So mindful japa, again, don't think that, okay, now I am training for mindful japa. After some time, automatically I'll do mindful japa. I don't have to do anything. That is not correct. Mindful means you have to be always mindful. That means you have to give your conscious, voluntary willing of kriya chesta and jnana chesta. You should like to chant, you should like to hear. And that like to chant, like to hear, that likeness will come automatically if you do linked chanting. In auto doing and auto tracking, what? You are not giving your chesta. Yesterday I discussed, mind has trained itself. Auto doing and auto tracking, chesta is not there at all. The Shakti Avasha Nama is not getting any attention from you at all. Your attention is fully on thinking. When your attention is on thinking, when a soul's attention is on thinking, how will you get Shakti from Nama? You are not touching the Nama, no? Only your body is touching, your tongue is touching. So you don't experience that connection with the Nama. So everything very logically we have come one by one. First, the soul has to touch the Shakti Avasha Nama Avatara. Krishna Nama has descended on, is agreeing to descend on the tongue, that on the sound that you chant. Now, I am soul, I am not the body. My spirit has to touch, because this is all doing for my soul, not for my body. I'm not doing chanting to build up my, muscles, bodily muscles. I am doing this chanting to wake up my soul. So my soul should touch. Soul cannot touch anything with the hands and legs and everything. Soul touches everything by its attention. And this is a sound incarnation. The sound incarnation means, by my attention on the sound, I can touch. Soul can touch. The thing that is coming out of the soul in this whole system is attention. Please understand. If I touch somebody, that feeling of touch is because of the attention. If the attention is there, then the soul is connected. The attention is not there, then the soul is not connected. So many functions we do automatically. You brush your teeth in the morning. Your soul is not there. Auto doing it is. Can Japa be simply done like that and given? In fact, we are trying to cure that body Japa. But in this mindful Japa, there is one small portion that can be trained. And all this exercise is only for that portion. What is that portion? To link. Each bead, on each bead you link, on each bead you link, on each bead you link. And still the old mind slice is there, which does without linking. It will try to do, and then it do Japa in that way, and attention will go away. And the diamond rule says, don't worry about it, let it go away. You simply loudly chant and give again Kriya Chesta and Jnana Chesta in a linked manner. Go on fattening this new mind slice. For those who are new, those who are not, those who have not understood what is this mind slice, let me spend few minutes on that. What is this mind slice I am talking about? I'm just using a terminology to describe what we all are very familiar with. I told you, daily shaving is a mind slice. That means you have trained a slice of your mind to do something. So it's a shaver mind slice. And these mind slices can do very complicated things also. For instance, if I say 6 into 3, what is it? You will say 18 immediately. If I tell you what is 156 into 143, immediately you cannot say. Your trained mind slice cannot do that. Now you have a logic. Your foreground mind will take help from multiplication tables that you are already in the background, which you have learnt. Your multiplication table is in the background. It's a mind slice which will do for you. 6 into 3, what is it? 18, it will tell. But this 3 digit into 3 digit, immediately it has to go according to the process. Again, there will be a learned process. That is another mind slice. You will write this figure below another side, another one, and you have already trained. Multiply this by this. In the end you will get the result. Then you will say this is the answer. But foreground mind had to do all those things, bring together all those. You know what is multiplication, but now 143 and 156 is given to you. So you write that and then you create. See how interestingly the mind works. So the answer for that 3-digit multiplied by another 3-digit was derived as a combination of trained mind slice and foreground fresh mind. So we have got so many mind slices we have created in our mind to ease our function every day. To ease our function. Habit formation. Suppose an employer is sitting in his office with his staff. He's an employee. He's an employer. So he's sitting in the mind slice of an employer. That means what all desires an employer has got is all automatic. What all he has to do as an employer, all these things, there is a mind slice. As soon as the staff employee comes and sits in there, immediately you know how to relate with him. Because your mind slice is, then you deal with the current problem, with the foreground mind. But background mind, everything comes. So there is a employer ego, mind slice. Suppose you are talking to your employee, suddenly a call comes. And the other side, there is a very important customer. Immediately, you don't need to do anything. Auto mind slice immediately, customer. How to treat a customer, what to speak to a customer, what to do with a customer, everything. Moment you say customer, you have created a mind slice to deal with customers. That will help you read, help you connect with what the customer is now wanting and everything. You relate with it. So combination of that, and so you're not answering the customer. It's not 100% automatic, no, because he has a very new problem. That's why he has called. But 90% will be automatic. What you should do with the customer. Customer means you have to satisfy him. All that is known. So it's a combination of your trained mind slice, how to deal with the customer, plus your conscious current foreground mind, which is dealing with the current matter. Just like I knew multiplication table, I knew what is multiplication, process of multiplication, I knew. Currently I received a problem, I just put those numbers, new numbers in there, and I followed the process. So I had to do that. Let's say as I was sitting, first I was sitting with the employee, I had my employer mind slice. Then a customer called, I have another mind slice to deal with the customer as a vendor. Let's say at that time a call comes to him, and then on the other end of the telephone his wife is there. Immediately he will load automatically, he doesn't have to do. Husband mind slice is loaded in the background. Then he'll deal with the current, what she has to say and all those things. See, without a trained mind slice, it is not possible to have easy life like this. Everything you know about your wife is all there in the mind slice. That mind slice means there is an ego, there is an identity of a relationship. I am husband, that relationship. There are desires of the husband. It's like a full individual. There are desires of the husband. And there are actions of the husband, doer. And there is experience of the husband. When you relate, when you act as an husband. All these things are packed together as a husband's life. As soon as the wife calls up, oh, the wife is on the other end, oh, immediately it is loaded. Let's say you finish talking with your wife. And then the other end, your wife will say, have a word with your son, please. Oh, then immediately the son comes on the line. Immediately you change your mind slice. Of what? Of a father. Similarly, When I take my Japamala, a Japa doer ego should immediately get loaded. And what is the function of the Japa doer ego? Especially what we are now practicing, he should link. He should link, but I will release the soul will release the Kriya Chesta and Jnana Chesta. He will link them. I want to train the mind slice to link. So in other words, any time you give Kriya Chesta, after you are practiced, your chanting will never be without hearing. Just not possible. If you want to change that, you have to again untrain your mind. Old ways. So we do not want to train mindful japa means to give automatically there's no automatic giving of Kriya Chesta. Kriya Chesta has to be voluntarily given. Then only it is bhakti. That yesterday I sufficiently explained. Just because it's trained, that's not the goal. I want to lovingly give my chesta to hear the name of the Lord, to call out the name of the Lord. I want to hear and associate with the Lord. I love to associate with the Lord. But my mind has been trained wrongly and it is disturbing, it is taking away, it is disconnected this hearing from chanting. Disconnected. Because it's disconnected, I am not able to lock myself attention. I am not able to lock my attention on the Shakti Avashanama. I don't get soul energy. Inattentive chanting. Soul is not touching, so how I'll get energy? If the soul is touching, I'll get energy. Beat after beat after beat, I want more and want more. Very simple logic. Soul can touch something only with attention. And unless Kriya Chesta and Jnana Chesta are given in a linked manner to the same thing, attention does not sustain there. Even for 16 names, it will not sustain there. This is a problem. One first word you may consciously say Hare Krishna to finish. Even 16 names you cannot. So therefore, have a right understanding of the place for if we didn't have an old mind slice, this kind of problem won't be there. We have trained ourselves wrongly to chant. That is why I said, if you have a clean mind, in 1 month, rightly you go on chanting, as Prabhupada said, that gets in default mind slice, linking mind slice. You don't need next 60 days to consolidate it. Now we need 90 days because 30 days to push the old mind slice from coming and being operative. And next 90 days you want once for all to make it weak by the power of disuse, by the principle of disuse atrophy. Anything you don't use becomes weaker, shrink and dies. All these habits are neural networks in our brain. Please understand. There's a circuitry in our brain. Habits create circuitry in our brain. When the circuitry is used, it will be good. It will be functioning. When the circuitry is starved, just like muscles, if you don't use, they become shrink and ultimately it becomes strengthless. Similarly, neural networks will become strengthless. And each time now I am doing a linking direction. I'm giving linking direction and doing, linking and doing. That creates a neural network. And that becomes a habit. Okay. So it's a very simple, don't complicate in terms of just because I use the word mind slice. All these terms are very much required to communicate these things. So, What is the result of it? Anytime I chant, a japa doer ego. Oh, I should do like this. How I should do? I should link and do. That fellow, that mind slice will be in the background and he will connect the both. Okay. So now let me take some questions. How do we start the old mind slice of mindless mechanical japa? See, to start something, do you have to do anything? You don't have to feed, that's all. There's nothing to be done. You don't have to take a knife and cut it or kill it and all those things. You starving means don't feed. Don't feed means what? When you chant one round 108 times, japa, how many times, how many beats your mind has gone off to old habits? That should be reduced by chanting loudly and bringing back repeatedly. And as the new mind slice linking direction becomes stronger and stronger, then the mechanical japa will go away. That is, mechanical japa mind slice will die. I already explained to you. Physically, I explained to you. Up to neural network, I told you how this works. It will disappear. It will not harass you. Old habit will not harass you. Suddenly it pops up, and although fresh doing and knowing chesta will stop for a while, again it takes over. It's understood. No, I told you this is a process of training. That old mechanical chanting will do its job. Now you have got you are the conscious person. You are the soul is now trying to create a new mind slice. You only created that old mind slice. So now you do go on doing for the response is for the same thing, for the same function. Earlier, for the same function of chanting and hearing, you were japa, called japa, you were doing it in a wrong way. Now you are doing it in a different way. So this new way should go on, repeat. The other fellow will come and try to repeat the other method. Don't worry, bring it back, because this is training stage. I told you, don't worry, don't get disappointed if the mind goes away. You simply chant loudly, give kriya chesta and bring it back, and in a link direction, with the linking direction, you go on repeating it. So when you do that, that is why tapasya is required for some time. But your tapasya, even tapasya is not so critical, because if the moment you link, you get energy from the nama. It is not, please understand, the competition is not between old mind slice and new mind slice. In the competition between old mind slice and new mind slice, along with the soul strength which you are getting from Nama Avatara. In the other old method, there is no Nama Shakti coming there, because it is often seen inattentive chanting. No Nama Shakti comes there. So you have to have a lot of, you have to understand that this is not an equal fight. That is the reason overnight you can change. How I was able to overnight change the type of japa? Because soul strength came. Shakti Avashanama was being touched by attention. So therefore, it is not difficult to do it. But please understand that you have to, provided you understand, the key thing is to link and chant. Link and chant. Chanting and hearing the same sound. Two functions are on the same target. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. On the same target. Same target means it will be linked up, no? Because once I say Hare, that Hare will go away, no? So I have to hear before that. So concurrently I have to do Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Very fast the mind works, concurrent chant. Doing and knowing, doing and knowing, doing and knowing, doing and knowing. Okay. So, don't be this again it will take over, means be patient. Let it take over. You you strengthen your mind slice, new mind slice. Strengthen it. That is your conscious effort. And then it will change. Krishna advises one must withdraw the mind from wherever it wanders and bring it back under the control of the self. Here we are not supposed to withdraw our mind. How to understand? Okay, here we are on a very specific task, number one, because this is not normal way of controlling the senses and all those things. We are not talking about that. Okay, if it was not the name of Krishna, then if you want to control your mind to concentrate on something which is not the name of Krishna, then you have to withdraw the mind from that. Here we are not doing that. Here what we are doing is, please understand, Krishna is in the scene. Shakti Avasya Nama is in the scheme, is in the scene. So simply I give Kriya Cheshta and then my mind goes there and mind is held there. Kriya Cheshta and Jnana Cheshta. Okay? Please understand this. Normally, okay, forget about Nama and all these things. Generally we say, okay, you should control your senses. Human being means should control the sense. If it goes away, you should bring it back. Abhyasena. By practice, you bring it back. When you bring it back where? There is nothing to hold there. Just by self-control you have to hold. Now we are talking about bring it back for what? On Krishna. Why bring it back on Krishna? I give fresh attention to the Nama. Let that mind go away. So that is for normal Ashtanga Yoga. In fact, that is why Arjuna tells very difficult. That we cannot apply here. It is not very difficult to concentrate on the Nama because Nama gives the power, Nama gives the strength to concentrate. Without the Nama's help, all this is not possible at all. How can somebody 16 rounds continuously, uninterruptedly chant in this disturbed age? Constantly there is our guna kala karma is, there's a guna pravaha. Pravaha means the flood of gunas, which is continuously making us think. Think of defense, think of protection, think of so many things, sense gratification, things of possessions, acquisition, all kinds of things. This pravaha, guna pravaha, it is a flood of guna. To stop that flood of guna and to hold the attention on the Nama for 16 rounds. Only possible because it is a Nama. You take an ordinary word, table, 16 rounds you do. So much tapasya is required. It is possible. So much tapasya is required. But for this, it's not required because for each chanting, it locks the attention there. When I was chanting one round, I was much simpler devotee. That even though chanting 16 rounds now, 6.5 years or after initiation, I look to have become complex in my life. Is it due to the proud of chanting or due to other reasons? No, it can be many reasons. Actually, if you are done this linked chanting and hearing, that is the main reason. You become familiar with Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Even though you shouldn't be becoming familiar. If you did linked chanting and hearing, you will see Navanava Rasa. Holy name is never becoming familiar because it gives you strength every day. You will never get bored of the same mantra you're chanting every day. You will not get bored. Familiarity means you'll get bored. And when you get bored, then you don't feel any interest there and it doesn't sit there. Your mind won't stick there. So just, this is the only reason you chant and in a linked manner you hear. And this is the whole focus of so many sessions we have had. It's good to repeat again and again. Golden quote. And golden quote, exactly you have to understand. Don't be very accurate. What does the quote say? It's a linking direction. All these quotes are saying linking direction. We all knew before coming to this session that we have to chant and we have to hear. They are two isolated instructions. We all knew. In this golden quote, the secret is given of linking them. And in the diamond rule is given, during practice, if it goes away, what you should do. Don't withdraw the minds. Don't try to withdraw the mind. You please simply give Kriya Chesta again. And fatten the mind slice that you are training. Feed the mind slice that you are training. Starve them old mind slice. This is a clear goal of this practice. Okay. Tomorrow we are starting 3rd week's practice. Is there anything else we need to practice? Yes. Please remember, you please read the 3rd week instruction. I have added one more quote of Prabhupada. That quote is about chanting distinctly. Okay, I'll read that quote. You can go to that module 38 and you can read that once again, and please do your next few weeks of practice by adding this particular point of chanting distinctly. Okay, here it is. 3rd week resource is week is this. Okay, looks like I have not changed in the module. It's not been saved. Okay. 3rd week, the instruction, when you chant, you must hear also. That is quote number 1. 2nd quote, so practice it and you will see how spiritually you are making advancement. Now 3rd quote I will post. Prabhupada says, you pronounce clearly and distinctly Hare Krishna and then hear. In other words, this is the instruction from Prabhupada to distinctly chant. You don't have to do anything. 3rd quote simply adds, let us say in the 1st quote, when you chant, you add that word there, distinctly. When you chant distinctly, you must also hear. When you chant distinctly, that means now very distinctly you should chant. That is, what did I say? That distinct chanting is called ekatva. Distinct chanting, and then you hear also. Automatically when you distinctly chant, you will distinctly hear also, because you are knowing that very chant, right? So you don't have to separately say sharply here. You don't have to. It will become sharp hearing. So distinctly chant. You add that and practice. After this session, I would change that module also. You can read again that. So there is no confusion for the 3rd week. Till 8 rounds, I am able to take inspiration from golden quote and get determination to chant and hear. But after that, I become familiar with the quote. No, you become familiar with the, no harm, become familiar with the quote if that quote has been converted into a feeling of determination. If you don't convert it into a quote, into a feeling of determination, in other words, you are preparing a doer ego as a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. What is the identity of this doer ego? Linking doer ego. Let's call it as linking doer ego. That is a job for him. Who is he? He's a disciple of Prabhupada. That's you only. You are creating your ego that I am a disciple, I should follow. I am a follower of Prabhupada. I should follow this quote. Okay, if I am there, what is my desire? My desire is to chant and link the hearing. That is my desire. This is my desire. I should chant and link the hearing. So then the whole idea is finally that quote goes away. But you have created a personality inside you who will link. And that personality will automatically act, will link. So you have to be a little patient. 8 rounds it goes away. If it goes away, again you struggle. It goes away not because of anything, because the old mind slice wants to take it away. Take the mind away. Please don't do all these things. Only you should not allow your mind. You are not doing it. It's automatically coming. But you don't just ignore all these things and just hear and chant. Ignore. Okay. While chanting, the act of validating the chanting is knowing. No problem. It is validating plus also knowing means knowing the details. If you are seeing that am I chanting distinctly, then it is also yes. Validating becomes hearing. Doing validated by knowing. Is that correct? Correct. Does it mean that attention is locked? Yes. By this process, attention is locked. When you said that one should not think of doing japa nicely while japa is being done. No, I'm not doing it. If you have a feeling that japa should be nicely done, very good. If you are going to verbalize and say, I should do japa nicely, I should do japa nicely, I should do japa nicely, that is not to be done. Instead of saying doing japa nicely, why don't you do it nicely? Can you explain what do you mean by telling to create a new mind slice of process of doing japa? To use it while japa for proper. I already explained what it is. If you have more doubts, please write to me in Telegram. I will elaborate. Don't be shy. You elaborate. I will elaborate the answer. Because of your question only, I talked about mind slice today this much. So I hope by now your questions are answered. Why can't we just do kirtan instead of japa for 2 hours? We can listen and chant more effectively. Why acharyas didn't recommend so? That is why they recommended both. You cannot be so lazy that only if many people are there you will have bhakti. Sometime you have to learn to stand on your own feet. No, you have to fly on your own. To depend on everybody for Sankirtana to chant, that is why acharyas have given both processes. Yes, kirtan also very, very important for beginners to purify. But ultimately the purification is coming either through kirtan or by japa, associating with the holy name. You associate with the name of Prabhu. Okay. So, if we want to change, these are all speculations. What Prabhupada has told us means there is a perfect combination of both. Why japa, everything should have been only this. Then you will never learn to give voluntarily, to counter the distractions and show your bhakti. You should know. Ultimately, that is what it is. Krishna wants voluntarily. So many disturbances may come. But now this is that I want to give my chesta, kriya chesta, jnana chesta to the Lord. Nothing else. He will not go anywhere else. Nothing can, Maya cannot distract me. If I use the first and the golden quotes of Srila Prabhupada, then I am able to chant attentively. But if I change the golden quotes 2 and 4, then my chanting becomes inattentive. Please do 1 and 2 is more than enough. So you repeat that. For 3rd week also you repeat, whichever is comfortable. Hare Krishna. The main theme on chanting with Tulsi beads. Tulsi is dear to Krishna, so we are chanting. And Acharyas have also preferred to chant on Tulsi beads. You can chant on neem beads also. You can chant, and there is nothing wrong in all those things. You can chant on the finger also. If nothing is there, you can count. So these are some of the. After Mangalarti during Japa time, if you are feeling too much tired and sleepy and not able to chant with attention, is it okay to take 10-minute nap, power nap, then get back to chanting, or we should continue to chant even when you are not able to focus on chanting? These are all practical questions. Yes, only I'll ensure that that 10 minutes doesn't become half an hour, 1 hour. Then it becomes a very bad habit. Mangalarti, after Mangalarti, going and sleeping. If it is 10 minutes, one thing, you don't lie down and sleep. You sit and sleep 10 minutes. Take a power nap, no problem. If it is only 10 minutes. If that is what you want, if your mind is satisfied with that and feels fresh in 10 minutes, do it and then start your chanting. Okay? So we meet again tomorrow. Thank you very much. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna Nama Prabhu ki Jai.